This is Robert Marglace, the MindShare Learning Report, Canada's Learning and Technology e-magazine. And welcome to This Week in Canadian EdTech, a special MindShareTV unboxing EdTech edition featuring Emmanuel Akindele, founder and CEO of Blue Guardian, a startup that's focused on early warning system for families and mental health and well-being. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, Emmanuel.
Thanks, Robert. I'm happy to be here.
A little bit about Emmanuel. He is a young entrepreneur and experienced soldier with a demonstrated history of working in the military industry. He's skilled in public speaking, sales and leadership, and he holds a BA from the University of Western Ontario. Wow, what an interesting journey it's been for you. And you still are in the military. You have a sports background. You were a basketball player. There's a lot going on. And you won an OFSA championship, I understand. That's impressive.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually working towards BA still. But basically, a little bit about myself is I was born in Montreal, pretty much raised my whole life in London, Ontario. So going to Western was a pretty easy decision, and I decided to pursue a degree in economics. Before I got into university, I ended up joining the military, and I joined the reserve. And I've been in the reserves ever since. And primarily I joined it just because I love the discipline behind it, and it was very attractive for me, young. I felt like I needed that plan and kind of organization who really fits on and a bigger mission than myself. Right? So work was always so
amazing. Discipline, the character development, not unlike sport, is so powerful and important. I had a pretty rough upbringing myself, and my focus on and passion about a particular sport and hockey, and the coaches being mentors, it really helped me get through some of the tough times. But sometimes you need a little more than that, and hence the inspiration for Blue Guardian. And talk to me about the product innovation, how the idea emerged, and some of the research around mental health and well-being in their youth.
Yeah. So it really for me in high school. So I had sports. So I had basketball. That was like a huge part of my life, and academics was also a huge part of my life. But part of every single kid's life at the time, which was a new phenomenon, was social media and always being connected. And this is something that caused a lot of anxiety for me because I need to rely on race issue. Definitely didn't grow up with social media. Teachers definitely did not grow up with it. So it was something that caused a lot of anxiety for me personally. And, I remember, looking towards the end of our schooling and kind of wanting to get out and kind of reflection on all the events that happened inside my high school experience. You had kids who would get cyberbullied. You'd have sexting. I had peers who suffered with depression, self-harm, ultimately a student in our graduating class taking their own life. There was a lot there in regards to mental health, right? And upon fast forward a few years after I graduated, I did some reflection on, my own experience. And I really told myself, like, there's something here that's not okay. And there needs to be a solution. And that's how I came with Blue Guardian.
Fantastic. Talk to me about some of the research behind Blue Guardian. And I just noted here in the screen share that you referenced it's projected by 2030, untreated mental health problems will be the leading cause of mortality and morbidity globally. That's pretty shocking.
Yeah, and that's it's a big phenomenon. the reality is a lot of the development for me was kind of first learning what can be done and what are the solutions. And I realized there's some real solutions that can be applied with software that are not really being brought up. So right now, we have the capacity to detect certain sentiment when you're texting, right? So if you're tweeting about McDonald's and Wendy's, they actually have a program that's able to detect what bad customer feedback and what's a good customer feedback, right?
Mm.
And that's using consumer behavior. So the tech is there, but I felt like it wasn't really being applied in the right spots. Like, it's definitely an important
Mm.
place in consumer behavior, but that kind of technology can be applied to mental health, and we can actually help detect mental health issues for young people, and then ultimately see if we can actually connect them with specific resources, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
That's amazing. And as we know, there are many situations where after the fact, there were telltale signs, weren't there? In the case of the most recent mass shooting in Texas, you know, uh, there are signs in
Yeah.
social media that could be detected, and so that sounds like it could be a very powerful tool. And talk to us a bit about the app and where you're at, and
Yeah.
in terms of education and uh, in schools, are you looking at K-12 higher ed? I mean, it goes into consumer side as well as education.
Yeah, exactly. So, first things I always say is, if anybody's ever heard of Grammarly, and quick intro to Grammarly,
Right.
if you're typing out an email, it's a software that helps detect your grammar, like an autocorrect, right? The way their software works is, as you're typing, it sends that text to an AI. It's able to detect grammar issues, let you know, and in a week they give you a report. um, this is essentially what we're trying to do with Blue Guardian. So while your kid is texting, both the parent and the kid would download the app. We would link both accounts. And as your kid is texting, right, or as they're using our keyboard, right, we're going to send that text to an AI. We're going to be able to detect mental health issues and then give that feedback both to the parent and the kid. So ultimately they can come together and, make a decision on what the best step forward is to take.
Amazing. So, what's the timing of the actual official launch? Are you currently in your soft launch, or where are you at?
Yeah. So right now we're in beta. So we are working with our current wait lists of parents, and we're onboarding them as we can, and as we can kind of take them in, and we're giving them our solution, and we're trying to hear the feedback. So we're right now really like in listening mode. So we were working with parents as we developed the software, and now we're in the listening mode where, as they're using our software, what are the real pain points? What are things that we can improve, and what are some things that they want us to focus more before we have a bigger launch. So we're right now in beta, and that's what we're working on.
Congratulations. And you're in fundraising mode as well. Let's get it
Yeah.
out there. So, this sounds like an interesting opportunity from the private equity folks and friends and family, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're trying to get some as many resources as possible to work towards this problem. This is something that personally like affected me. So
Hmm.
that's where that passion came to work on this. And what I've been able to do is I've been able to reach out to other students at Western, and not just Western, but all over, people who are well into their career, looking to contribute from whatever perspective they can, um, towards this issue. So part of that is, all right, let's now get some resources so we can get more people to work towards the mission. Because I don't know, it's my belief, if we can get some brilliant minds and more brilliant minds to work towards this problem, I think we can truly solve this, right? And we can truly get that 2030 number, probably reduce it by a huge
Right.
amount.
Well, there's definitely quite a few resources that have come on the scene, amidst COVID that relate to well-being and mental health. It's been one of the most challenging times. It's been the best of times and the worst of times, I've said, in education.
Yeah.
And you're a gift to education and what you're doing,
Thank
and your
you.
passion for trying to make a positive impact on well-being. Emmanuel, you're a fine young man. We've got to know each other a little bit through our conversations. So I'm so intrigued in what you're doing. We'd love to have you do a pitch at our Canadian Startup Challenge
Awesome.
at the EdTech Summit that's taking place October 20th at McGill University in Montreal. So I
I'll
hope
be
you'll
there.
be able to join
100%.
us there.
I'll be there.
Awesome. Well, you might be studying, so we'll bring you in online if we have to.
Yeah.
I don't want to take you away from your studies, but we'll make it happen either way, whatever works best for you.
Yeah.
And at the time, how many more courses do you have to complete before you graduate?
So I have 2 more credits, I have a few more courses, and we're all done. We'll be all done.
Awesome. That's exciting. And then are you part of an incubator in London area as well?
So within London, we were able to go with Western. So we were actually in the Western Accelerator program,
Excellent.
and
Fantastic.
we were in there last summer, and that's actually how we met. And from there, we've been outside of any accelerator, and we've been kind of moving forward. And kind of working with the resources that they gave to us that kind of push our mission forward.
And if people want to get a hold of you, Emmanuel, where could they get
So
a hold of you?
you can go to blueguardian.ca, or you can essentially send me an email at emmanuel.akindele@blueguardian.ca, and it's perfect way. I'm always on my email, so it's a perfect way to contact me.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your startup and innovative new product, Blue Guardian, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, Robert.
My pleasure. That was Emmanuel Akindele, the founder and CEO of Blue Guardian. My name is Robert Martellacci of the Mindshare Learning Report. Be sure to check out www.mindshare Learning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.